Hi everyone, I am Rachel Breeze. I'm a singer, actor, and music theatre performer currently based here in Sydney. I have to do a self-tape today. It is a day off, but I'm doing a self-tape. And I've had, if I'm being honest, a couple of really rough vocal health weeks, whether that's sort of a residual sickness that was playing a part or tension from a little bit of stress or maybe some allergies. I'm not sure, but I do have to sing today, so I just thought what better time spent than I'm waiting for my hair to dry to do my self-tape. I was about to warm up and I thought, why don't I share with you guys what my sort of, if I wake up and feel a bit vocally under, what my protocol is. And yeah, let's just dive in to get this feeling a little bit better. I can tell I'm a little bit hoarse today. Vocal health, the number one thing is really rest and hydration. So the first thing I'm gonna pick up is my water bottle, which is half full so I can do a little bit of straw work. And I'm just gonna constantly be hydrating. I've been hydrating all morning to try to get it to hit my vocal folds because it does take a bit of time. So, in the meantime, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab my little nebulizer, and I've been using saline solution, which is just 0.9 sodium chloride salt in water. Just a very simple solution to get this on the vocal cords hydrating. So we're breathing that steam in, and this is just a very quick hydration to help those vocal folds close, because that is what we want for our vocal health. I do know a lot of people use steamers instead of nebulizers, or as well as, and you can see that I have one and I've used it many a time as my little sippy cup. The reason I'm nebulizing this morning is because I want to get singing and I want to get vocalizing. When I steam, I prefer to do it at the end of the day or very, very early in the morning before I have to talk to anybody, because steaming does kind of inflame the vocal folds a little bit, so it sort of swells them up to help the swelling come down. It's really, really good and really effective. It's just you have to stay nice and quiet for like half an hour to an hour after, and I don't want to do that. So I did straight nebulization, which is no heat involved. It's just the salty water hitting your vocal folds, but steaming is still very valid and very much a part of my vocal health routine when I need it, but I don't need to sing. So yeah, just wanted to include my little steamer because he's very, very much a part of my vocal health routine. What I want to do now that the nebulizing is done, I want to do a little bit of vocal fry. And vocal fry is when your vocal folds go nice and slack and relaxed at the very bottom of your range. The reason I want to do that is I do feel like I am slightly hoarse today, and vocal fry or slack vocal folds can kind of just help get rid of any puffiness in the cords. It's not great to use all the time, but I do find it quite good at the beginning or ends of sessions. So I'm just gonna check in with it. And I find if I'm very swollen or very tired or very sick, this sound is very difficult to do. So it's a very good check-in on vocal health and checking in on my students' vocal health as well at the beginning or ends of sessions. So it's just this kind of like very uncommitted sound, like a and it's frying today, which is really good. So I'm just gonna warm up that fry a little bit. Notice I am sitting down because it's a very relaxed sound. It's very hard to kind of put vocal fry on. Often if I find a student struggling, I'm like, try to pretend you don't want to answer a question. So somebody asks you something and you're like, I don't really want to answer that question. And that's my vocal fry there. So I'm just gonna vocal fry a little bit, just to get a little puffiness out of the cords and help them come together later. Great, I'm gonna stay sitting now. I'm just gonna work some sort of speech pitch into that vocal fry and vice versa. So a little vocal fry onset or an offset. So I might go, or Good, so I'm kind of happy with how that fry is coming along. It does feel a little trickier than normal if I'm being honest, and I can hear it in my speaking voice, that hoarseness. So that's probably what I'm experiencing. We're not gonna panic. It's just a thing that is today, and this is why we're taking a nice, slow warm up. All right, now I'm gonna just move into a bit of speech pitch. So I will grab some notes. I'm gonna start low, but not too low. I might even start at like B flat below, middle C. And I'm just gonna do some very basic speech pitch, stay nice and sitting down, not singing yet, we're just talking on pitch. Yeah, 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 yeah. And check in on that fry, let's go down. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Checking what key I'm in. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. So just some really thick fold contact. I can even feel a little bit of phlegm moving, which is probably why that vocal fry felt a little difficult before. So this is really, really good. All right, I'm gonna start to stand because I wanna bring my speech pitch a little bit higher. Now, normally I'm gonna take this to like a G above middle C, my speech pitch and thick fold. So I'm just gonna check in with that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, okay, we're in a semitone above, but that's great. G is just a nice indicator of our speech pitch, where we should be able to take our thick folds, ideally, especially when I'm working with beginner students. That's where I like to get those thick vocal folds before we get into belting. But what I'm gonna do now, I wanna get a little bit of thin fold closure now, so I'm gonna get my straw. I'm just gonna take, you can't see the waterline in my water bottle, but I'm just gonna submerge my straw like ever so slightly, like less than a centimeter underneath the waterline. And that's just to get a little bit of backward pressure to close my vocal folds when I'm now going into thin folds or head voice. So let's give it a go. I'm gonna do maybe like some fifths. I think that's a nice starting place. So I'll take it from middle C. Did you hear that lack of connection? Which is exactly why we're doing this, to sort of expose that, not freak out about it, but know what we have to do. We're not going to push through it, but we've got to warm up those thin folds. That was really a good indicator of why I'm maybe feeling a little bit hoarse. Let's see what we can do. Let's keep going with the straw work. Let's go nice and slowly through that. Let's try one more without the straw. I'm feeling a little bit better about that. Oh my God. Anytime it feels a little bit trickier, I'm just going to go down a semitone. Down a semitone. Notice how I'm keeping my lower body very, very relaxed, little hula hoops, because all I want to be working is that thyroid tilt. I don't want to be straining anything for these high notes. A little bit catchy. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling some phlegm coating the folds today, and I think that's why I'm getting that catch and then it's releasing. Oh my God, I've been doing octaves this whole time. I was like, why is it catching so early? This is crazy. So this is actually really makes sense now because I've been going right up to the passagio. Gosh, terrible music theory brain hearing octaves as fifths. I apologize. Let's go for the octaves though, and maybe we'll add in some arpeggios if that catching is happening, because it's a kind of good anchor spot to make sure we're really sliding. I was in a D then, and I was unknowingly going up to D5, which is sort of where we start that second soprano passagio, and that's where things, especially if you're feeling vocally under, get tricky, they get sticky, they get catchy. Those are some words I would use to describe those areas. So let's do some arpeggios up, and we're going to use that last interval, which is a fourth, to really slow down and slide through the straw. So it's going into that passagio. Let's maybe just do some fifths around the passagio. Let's go from G to D. expected. We're really in that passagio place. Not gonna force it, let the catch happen. Don't push through it, cry and tilt through it. Yeah, the phlegm, it's really interesting, and this is why the hydration is so important to help cut through that throughout the morning. Notice how I came back down. I'm gonna try a few just other semi-occluded exercises like an NG siren and just see what just a full-blown octave might feel and if that catch is still happening now. Let's do that one again. As I'm going up, I'm gonna start to add a little bit of vibrato even to the siren. The reason I like this is I know my vocal folds are together if I'm adding vibrato, and that is like the goal for vocal health today. Vocal folds together, and if vibrato is going to be an indicator of that, it's going to be there. I'm going to put good money on that was an F. No, it was an E. Oh my gosh, we're nearly there. We're nearly through the passagio. Notice my tongue is out through most of these because I do not want the tongue getting involved with this siren at all. It's not invited, the tongue is not invited to any high notes. We made it. F. Sort of to the upper end of the passagio. I'm not going to push for more. This is not a glittery high C day. It's just not. And I'm coming back from a month of bad vocal health. Whatever is going on in my head, because we know that plays a role in vocal health, potentially allergies, potentially a residual illness that's resulting in a little bit of muscle tension. So it's just really good to have these reset sessions of coming back to the basics and the smallest effort possible, particularly in the thin vocal folds. Just the smallest amount of effort to get phonating up there. So I'm really glad I've just taken the time to do a lot of semi-occluded stuff. This is not a hard self-tape. The highest note I have is a D5, so we've addressed that, and I'm really glad I'm going to be able to hit that healthily today. Just going to try a couple of open vowel sounds, see what that's like, and then let's go for a take. We're going to try and go from thickish to thin at the top, kind of going between the vocal registers, which is so important in music theatre. I'm just going to try an E because it's a bit of a trickier vowel for me. E. What's nice about E's is the twang. The twang helps cut through. It's a really nice, cheap, and safe way to use your voice when you're a little bit under. Let's slow that down. Let's not cheat as we go into the passagio, because we can't go under it. We can't go over it. We have to go through it. It's like a bear hunt. Let's be a little bit kind to myself. Let's use a nicer passagio vowel. Let's go for like an or, nice round shape. I'll take it. I'll take it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Drink water, steam, nebulize, rest, be kind to yourself, don't panic. I say this for me more than you.